An Uber rider was caught on camera attacking a driver. Let's talk about it. Welcome everyone, Mark here from UberHints. Before we get started, if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please subscribe by clicking on my little face in the corner down there and ring that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. Now, the video we're going to look at is not real graphic, but it can be frightening because anytime that a rider gets aggressive, they start pushing, grabbing, reaching, it can be a frightening situation. Now, the video that we're looking at, it's been in several sources over the internet right now, so I don't know the original. You can see in the video that what starts out is the passenger is petting or rubbing on the driver. The driver had just ordered the passenger to put on his seatbelt. They were almost at the end of the ride from the stories that I've read. And that's when all the commotion started. The rider took off their seatbelt for some reason. The driver said put the seatbelt back on. He started reaching, getting touchy. And as you can see in the video, there was a lot of pushing, struggling. The driver was punching quite a bit. And it just turned into a chaotic situation.
Get off me! Get the me now! Get out of my car! Get out! Get out of my car! Get out! Get the out!
Now, this driver is not a novice by any means. He has 8,400 rides under his belt, but he just recently picked up the in-car camera. He says he doesn't have it going constantly, but he turns it on when he becomes uncomfortable. Now, in my mind, if you have a camera, you might as well have that sucker going. Most of them will loop through, and when they run out of recording space, they start over once again. What do you think if your camera records over the previous footage? Because you don't really know which person might make an accusation against you. My feeling, you can usually tell when rides go really smoothly, and when something's going to be trouble, yeah, that's the one that I might want to hang on to. Maybe pull the card out of the camera and put a new card in. In any case, he was able to call 911. While the driver was calling 911, the passenger got out of the car and left.
Get out of my car! Calm down, you need to calm down. Now he's walking away.
Now, here's my feeling. Let's talk a little bit about how we can keep ourselves safe. A lot of people say, well, they should be in the back seat of the car, and Uber says they should be in the back seat. And one of the things they say to give everyone their own space. But I want to read a quote to you from this driver. It says, Richards, who is the aggressor, the rider, was in the front seat, something that Uber advises against so both drivers and passengers have their own, quote-unquote, personal space. In this case, Leon said he was glad to be directly next to the rider.
If he was in the back seat, maybe it wouldn't have gotten as far as it did. But if it had, how much control would I have had?
And that's exactly my point. When someone's behind you, they can get an arm around you, they can get you in a bar arm choke, and you're never going to get out of that. It's going to be a very, very tough situation when you have that entire car seat between you. You can't reach them, you can't turn around. I prefer to have a person sitting next to me where I can keep an eye on them, where I can reach out and control them just like this driver was. And if I have to, what I would be more inclined to do is not sit in that car and call 911 if we're already parked. I have my key fob in my pocket. If that car is in park, I turn off the engine and I hop out. I want to get away from there. Let him tear up my car if he wants to. But I do not want to be near him. I don't want to be physically assaulted. So I would remove myself from the vehicle. I now have the key. If that person would get out of the car, I could either hop back in and lock myself in and take off. I could have a lot of options. But personally, if they're in the front seat, I can control and manage them better. I can keep an eye on them better. And I always have the option to exit the vehicle. Once I have that key fob, they cannot start the car unless it is inside the vehicle itself. Cars these days are pretty smart. They know if that key is inside or not. Now, you might have a physical key. Okay, take it out. But those are some things I would do to keep safe. Now, It says here in this article, it quotes or not quote, it gives a link to a website with Uber safety tips. What I think is really bizarre about this, there's 10 safety tips and they're all for the rider. What in the world? They write a story about a driver getting attacked, then they say Uber has safety tips, go take a look at them, and they're all tips for the rider? What about tips for the driver? There are ways to get people out of your car. And if you can't get them out of your car, I'm getting out of that car if they're getting physically aggressive. Or call police. But what do you think? Is this getting a little out of hand, having these people get so aggressive? You know, my other answer, I don't like to pick up the drunks. You know, you've probably heard me say that so many times ad nauseum, but I do not like to work bar closing time because people that are drinking tend to be more aggressive people. But I'd like to hear what you have to say. As always, I encourage you to leave your comments down below. Please like and share the videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe and ring that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I'm Mark with UberHints.